analysis to see if their systems will work. They send us the architectural drawings plus this description of which systems they wanted to use. For the curtain wall, they want to use a Tubelite 400 TSS, and for the storefront, they want to use a Tubelite T24650. So at first, we started the pre-analysis looking at the architectural drawings with Matt Gorney, and we saw these are the final shops, but I was checking out the architectural drawings. So we saw these huge curtain walls, and we started calculating using, they are all in corners. So we started calculating with this open shape corner mullion. So at first we were having some trouble using the biaxial analysis because they are really tall and they have mid-span anchors. So we were having a lot of problems using the biaxial analysis. Then Matt talked to the client and he said, no, do not use the corner mullions. We will use jam mullions in each one of them. Each frame will be separate. So we start using this mullion instead. So we do the pre-analysis and we calculate some steel for the frames, which you can see here, like in here, we was requiring some steel in the pre-analysis. So we send the pre-analysis based on the architectural drawings, the client, and they included the steel in a new set of shop drawings. When the shop drawings came back to us, a little things have changed. One important thing is that they changed the mid-span anchors location. So the moments have changed. And I started the review of the shop drawings and realized that redo the RISA model. And one thing that I want to thank Kyle in this case is because I did the analysis for this intermediate vertical, drew it in CUFSM, and I obtained my load factors. But with Kyle and the database that JEI is providing to help us improve our productivity, I compared the load factors that I was and the one that Kyle's having in server. And with your load factors, I obtained a higher capacity from the mullion. So I was able to remove the steel that were showing, steel not required in almost all frames. So the client will have less expensive steel for this project. So as I was saying to Matt the other day, I think that we did a great job because the client gave us some ideas of what he wanted us to do. We tried to model the project as better as it can do. And when they changed the anchor, we did the whole analysis again, moving the anchor. So we obtained smaller moments and we have higher values from the CUFSM that JEI has. So the steel was not required anymore. So we're saying now to the client, remove the steel. So imagine for the client that he said, okay, JEI is calling out this steel. They include it in the shops. Now with the final review, we're saying the steel is not required. So it will be a cheaper project for them. I think that it's good for them and it's good for sustainability wise too.
That's excellent, Juan Pablo.
Yeah, nice.
That's excellent. So I want to just net out the main things, just from a marketing perspective, the things that he said that were unique.
I'd say advanced framing analysis that gets like more precise so that we can really look at the details clear, which led to removal of steel in this case.
And even though they had shown steel, we were okay with taking it out. We let them know that instead of just running with the steel in there. Be like, well, it would work.
Yeah, I think the big thing was he mentioned communication. Without actually saying it, he communicated, hey, the corners don't work. And that allowed the client to say, hey, oh, don't worry about the corners. We're actually not using the corners. We're doing this. And if we would have just ran with it, we would have killed the budget potentially to get something to work when it probably would have never worked. And one simple phone call or email took care of it. We're using box corners.
Kyle, you give it into the point. That's exactly what happened. I called Matt because I was running and I saw that it was having a lot of problems. So I called Matt and said, Matt, this won't work easily. Perhaps it could work if we put so much hours, but perhaps it's better to talk to the client first. So Matt called the client and the client said, no, these are separate frames. So I think the communication it was really important because it saved us a lot of budget times.
I think it's something that JEI brings to the table for our clients. The combined number of years of experience that we have in the team is substantial. So I think some intuition and some quick gut feelings about framing is something that we don't need to go into the weeds, into the depth of things to clearly and quickly say, something's amiss here. Something might not work, or maybe we can get that to work. That intuition really only comes after seeing hundreds, if not thousands of projects, and I think the combined experience with all of us in JEI allows us to make those judgment calls a little bit easier to then go into the deep analysis and the more in-depth. I think a good lesson from what I heard from Juan Pablo is that Kyle's experience, Juan Pablo's experience, and Gordon's experience all came together to. And also, one thing to highlight on this project, if I remember right, Juan Pablo, there wasn't any additional out of scope charges that were passed on to the client. Everything was able to be fit within the budgeted hours. I feel that the experience of the engineers that worked on that project helped do that without causing any more financial burden on the client as well.